Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. Hi, if you're new here, my name's Katie Wismer. I'm an author and an editor. I have 9 books out currently. I realize that I say that, but I feel like I should be saying I have 10 out currently because I do have Project Z up on Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive book, but like it's still technically out and you could read it. That's technically book number 10. Anyway, all the links are down below. We're doing a writing vlog today. We're currently working on Marionettes book 4, Ruthless Ends. We've been working on it for a while, but I have some good news when it comes to that. Good updates. Before we jump into the vlog, let me tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Dossier, which is good timing because I just got out of the shower and I need to put on my perfume for the day anyway. Dossier is a fragrance company, and I like to choose one of their perfumes to associate with each of my projects. The scent for Ruthless Ends is their Ambery Lavender. Dossier basically sells more affordable dupes of luxury scents. They're also clean and cruelty-free, vegan, all the good stuff. If you go onto their website, you can see which perfume each of their scents was inspired by. Oh my gosh, you can tell how long we've been working on this book by how much of this perfume is gone, because I only wear this when I'm working on the book. I think it's even more than book 3's. We worked on book 3 for a good long while. You could see there's a lot of it gone, but not as much as book 4. Dang, that's a very good visual of how this process has been going. If you want to check them out, I have a link and a coupon code to get you some money off, so make sure to use that down below in the description. And without further ado, let's get back into the rest of the vlog. So if you're caught up on the vlogs, you kind of know where we're at in the book, where my mindset's been, the struggles. If you haven't seen the vlogs, we've been struggling. This is the last book in a series and the mental blocks have been real. But honestly, since I made that video talking about how much I've been struggling, things have been going so much better since then. There's still much to go back and change, but we're almost done writing this draft. I have about a chapter and a half left to write. The full chapter being the epilogue, and then I'm halfway through the last chapter of the book right now. So I am really hopeful. I'm not setting any expectations on if I'm gonna finish it today or whatever. Today's a Sunday, but I definitely think we'll finish the draft within the next couple of days. One of my critique partners has half of it, and I told her I would send the second half once I finished it. One of my beta readers also, I think it has up to where my critique partner has. I have another beta reader who's agreed to take it. Once I'm finished, I'm gonna send her the whole thing. So I'm really, really grateful that I have people lined up who can give me some feedback. I definitely need it. There's definitely, it's not quite ready once I finish these 1.5 chapters to go off because I moved some things around and now things don't make sense. So I do need to kind of like read through the second half again and fix, you know, what little things I can so it's at least readable at like barest degree before sending it off. And then we will be in major revision mode from there. I was feeling very stressed about whether or not I was going to be able to hit my deadline for this. This is going to my proofreader August 14th. So we have about a month and a half left. But honestly, I guess I'll know when I get my beta reader feedback back. Someone commented on the last vlog asking if I had thought about pushing the release date back, which I have. It would be incredibly inconvenient, but I have thought about it. I've never missed a pre-order date before, so it would just be very disappointing to me in general. I know it would be disappointing to my readers, but it's not a call I'm afraid to make if the book just isn't ready. I would rather deal with all of the inconveniences and maybe piss a few people off than put out something that's not my best work. I would feel that way about any book, but especially the last book in this series. But the good news is at this point, if I did end up needing some extra time, it wouldn't be a big pushback. I've never had to push back a date on KDP before, so I'm not quite sure how it works, but I'm pretty sure you can push it back a month without a penalty. So at the like worst comes to worst, I feel like that's all I would need to do is give myself like an extra month. Because honestly, a month and a half is plenty of time, I feel, to do all of these developmental edits that I'm gonna need. I just really don't want to rush that final wave of editing where I'm like line editing and copy editing. Like I don't want the text itself to not be up to my usual standard. I don't want to rush that part. So that's my only concern at this point. And then also I have all of my people booked. So if I had to like push back my proofreader and push back my audiobook narrator, that would obviously delay things, and I don't even know if they could fit me into my schedule because they book out so far in advance. So if that happened, the audiobook might be super delayed. I might just have to use a different proofreader than usual. So like there's definitely logistics to figure out, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. I feel 75-80% confident we won't come to that. I feel like we can do it, but I don't want to, you know, kill myself trying to make a deadline. But at this point, I'm feeling pretty confident that we can get it there. Ask me again in a month. Here's our current word count. About 96K. We're getting somewhere.
Nice.
Okay, so I wrote the scene that I was in the middle of, and I've now written the epilogue. I just don't know how to end it. I think there's gonna be a second scene in that last chapter before the epilogue, and there might be a second scene in the epilogue, but I don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't really know how to end it yet. I am just like hyper aware of the fact that people have commented on other books of mine before that like they end abruptly, and I'm not talking about the cliffhanger books. I mean like my standalones. I think I've mainly heard that about the anti-relationship here, which is a shorter book, so it makes sense. But now it's just like in my head that like I'm not good at writing endings for books. Like I feel like everything's wrapped up and satisfactory, and like I took a good long while like doing the resolution, and then I saw like quite a few people being like this was so abrupt and like it needed more. So now I'm like hyper aware of the fact that like when I get to the end of the book I'm like good, okay, we're done. But other people might like want more at the end of the book, and I don't really know how to do that. So I'm trying to make this as like satisfying for the readers as possible, especially with it being the last book in a series. So we've gotten like everything that we need pretty much, and now I'm adding like pretty bows and like just trying to make everyone happy. So there might be another scene or two that I add here, but I don't really know what they would be at this point. I think it might be helpful to have my beta readers read through this, and I'll just be like, is there anything more that you wanted? Are there like, is there any questions that hasn't been answered that I missed? Or is there anything that would make this more satisfying for you? Because I, as the writer, have a very hard time telling, apparently. What I find to be like a satisfying conclusion has not always been the case for readers. I might just be overthinking it, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how to end this epilogue. This is not like, this scene is incomplete. I don't know where to like leave it off. But other than that, we're pretty much done with what I wanted to write. Crazy. It's now a little after 2. We've been sitting here for probably 4 hours, 5 hours. I don't know, I've lost all track of time. Okay, I just threw together a few more lines so it felt more like a ending note, at least for now. So I think we can call it. The rough draft is coming in at 98,350 words. The longest rough draft of this series, I think. I think this is longer than book 3's rough draft. It doesn't feel done to me, so I'm not like celebrating or anything. I don't know. Book 3's final version ended up being somewhere around 115K, so I am curious to see how this one will compare once it is done. I don't feel like I have that much to add to it from this draft. There's things to like move around and change, and I'm gonna like clean it up obviously. I don't know if it's gonna grow that much the way that book 3 did, so I don't know. This book has felt different in literally every single stage of the process than any other book. So nothing has gone as expected. Nothing has worked out the way that it has in the past. So I could not tell you one way or another. I might take a little bit of a break, but honestly, I think I'm gonna jump right back into making the changes that I know I need to make. There's this whole one section where I like tried to move a scene around, and then I realized how much that wasn't gonna work because something else had to happen before something else, and it just like overcomplicated it. So I'm gonna go fix that whole section at least. I really want to get this to a place where I can send it off to beta readers, because I can still keep working on it while they have it, but it would be nice. It would give me some peace of mind to just like make that final jump, you know? I don't know why I don't feel more like I just completed the draft. Like I don't have any of that like, yay, we're done feeling. None. I brought my camera over here, but I forgot the memory card, and I don't want to get up because I don't want to disturb Mr. Teen. If I get down from this chair, this is gonna close and it's gonna kick him off, and that's just not nice. So I'm filming this on my phone right now. So I'm going through and I'm making a list of all the things I want to change, so I can just start like picking one thing on the list and crossing it out as I go. This little system works for me pretty well. We have 17 things on the list, and I was going back through because I always, when I come up with an idea, will put it in like a note on my phone, and then I'll forget about them. So it's just like scrolling through the notepad on my phone and finding all of these ideas that I've had over the past few months and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a good idea, which will solve so many problems, and I almost forgot about it. So I'm going through all of my old notes to find those solutions that I found to make sure I'm not forgetting about something that I've already figured out. And I did also tweak that little scene that I was talking about earlier, although I don't know if I fixed it now, because now reading through it, it's like, well, now there's a different problem. So now we are officially in revision mode. And I now have an idea for what I want to write as the second scene in the epilogue. So we're figuring stuff out. Now 3:30, I'm gonna sit here, hang out with Dean. We're getting some work done. I'm gonna end the vlog here so I don't forget to do it. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hope you guys are all doing well. All the links are down below in the description. If you haven't yet, I'd appreciate it so much if you would sign up to get notified of when the Kickstarter for the Marionettes goes live. Having a good number of people following the project before it launches helps me out with the Kickstarter algorithm, so I would just really appreciate that. You can pre-order Ruthless Ends now. I'm also going to be doing the same kind of pre-order for the Ruthless Ends audiobooks that we did way back for Wicked Souls, which will help pay for the narrator. So if you're in the US or the UK and you have any interest in pre-ordering the audiobook for Ruthless Ends, I will have a form down below as well. That's gonna be it. I will see you guys in the next video very, very soon. Bye. No.